Passes unanimously. And we'll just table that case until we have more information. Thank you. We have 5 minutes before you can go. So let's go ahead and go to the consent agenda. Let's see. Our resolutions and ordinances, let's go there. In the resolutions, we have resolution 2021-101, which is vacation of the remnant of West McDaniels Road. That's the only resolution.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve resolution 2021-101.
We have a motion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes unanimously. Next, in the letters, we have a letter of support for CCOG. They're filing for a Brownsfield grant to help improve communities in southeast Idaho.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the letter of resignation. Wow, so letter of support and
Who will not support that?
and authorize the chairman's signature or our signatures.
That's our signature.
I was trying to say resolution and support, and it didn't work very well. That's resolution.
Next, we have September 2021 Commissioners' Proceedings. We also have a career development plan for information technology employee. And we have a notice of trespass. Are we ready for that? Any concerns? Or should I want to do these other two and then do that one separate?
Yeah, let's do the letter of trespass separate.
That's just you, right?
Nope, it's all right. That looks great. I mean,
I'm excited.
No, yeah, we'll
about
separate them. It's not a consent agenda item, so it'd have to be a separate order of
it. All
business.
right, so we want to authorize those two things.
yes.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we approve the minutes the commissioner proceedings as presented and the career development plan as presented.
We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes unanimously. There's those two. Next.
Mr. Chairman, I would move to approve the letter of trespass for Nikki Tayson as presented.
We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes unanimously.
We would need to fill in the dates.
Okay.
The dates you want.
So let's scratch that. Mr. Chairman, I would move to issue a letter of trespass. What's her full name?
Nicole
Joe
Joe Tayson.
For 1 year from 10/26/2021 to 10/25/2022.
10/26.
And the notice does contain, the notice does contain a notice to appeal, so I would give her 10 days after service to appeal.
Okay. There, we do that motion. That works much better.
2022. Name of person, entity issuing trespass notice. Signature person receiving trespass. Signature person serving trespass.
So it'll be Yeah, she'll have to be served.
All right. So basically, we added right uphill. Okay. All right, we have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes unanimously. You want that?
Yeah, somebody's gonna have to serve her.
Well, we had volunteers already. All right, with that being said, Christie.
First item on the agenda for me is the budget actual reports. This says just revenue, but statutorily I need to do expenditures and revenue. These aren't final. So if you have any questions, you can ask, but the numbers are gonna change just simply because I haven't done accruals yet, which will affect the expenditures. I haven't done any of the year-end adjusting entries for inventory, for accounts receivable, for our OPEB. So these numbers will change until we get the audit complete. The revenue report, this is a cash basis report, so that will not change, but by saying it's cash basis, that means if I have any accrual entries, that doesn't show in this report anyways.
Okay.
So,
Is some of that due to your transition to Tyler?
no, it's just fiscal year end,
Oh, okay.
so,
So, did you send them to us anyway, or any?
yeah, I sent them, first thing Monday morning to the commissioning, well, the agenda request email. So I assumed that Christie would forward those on.
Okay, I haven't seen them,
Okay.
and they're not in the packet.
Okay. And
So
part of it was because it was so late getting them sent. I will, when I balance, do my pre-balance for September. Once I get that done, that won't include accruals, but that'll at least be the month is balanced, and I'll send those to the commissioners.
Okay,
And I hope to have that done this weekend.
okay. But where we haven't actually seen them,
Well,
or looked at them, I just,
yeah. And they're not final anyways. So, but statutorily, I'm supposed to do it by the end of the month, so
Yep.
I threw it out there. If you wanna push this back to Thursday, I could review them with you, but, I just sent Christie something, and I don't even think we can get on Thursday's agenda. Because
it's already
set.
out, posted. but-
Unless you wanna amend it, but
I'm okay waiting till Tuesday so we can have, you said we could have finals by Tuesday?
they're not gonna be final until the audit's done, which is gonna be February.
We'll see.
I don't wanna wait till
There's too many,
February.
there's too many I mean, I can send you a preliminary one, I could give you this preliminary one, but it doesn't have,
Well, but I think if you have the legal clause in it that this is a preliminary budgetary report, this is not a final, this is not what it is, I think
Right.
that you then fit the category of all the stuff, because, you know, when you
Yeah.
report back, I mean, we're supposed to have something to go off of, but we can't expect that something to be perfect when you haven't, it just doesn't work that way.
Right.
And this is where practicality and law get into, again, if you have the magic paragraph in there, this is not a final report, this is the, you know, where are we at kind of in, is there red flags that we're seeing? That's, I think, the intent is you're looking for those. Is there something here that is messed, you know what I mean? Is there a thing that should be drawn attention to, or things that are a cautionary whatever, or is it just, you know?
and everything I've seen to date, I mean, nobody went over budget except for the county boat, and that was expected because we had to spend the money or lose it. I don't even have the final ambulance billing, I won't get that until
Yeah.
the week of Veterans Day, hopefully, depending on the CFO.
Well, and I think the intent and what it is to kind of walk through that. And I think that's, you know, set aside some time on Tuesday and let's actually walk through it and say, hey, this is where we're at, this is what's going on. Because alls it does is, or Wednesday or whatever day we're in.
I can send a copy of it to you.
Yeah, so,
Email.
and just having that through and having to be able to go through that and have that question and answer session, because a lot of it, that helps make us have some understanding of kind of what we're looking at and why does it take time in the budget. And that's one thing everybody, well, the end of the year, you should have it done 15
Well,
days, close it out. Why isn't this ready?
And all we're saying here is that we've received it.
Yeah, that's all you're saying.
Not that we've approved it. And that- you know me.
Yeah. Well, and I'm sorry, next time I'll send it directly to you, but I sent it Monday, so I knew it wasn't time for the packet, but I don't know that she puts this entire thing in the packet anyways, but I could have at least, I thought she would have sent you the link.
Yeah.
Next time I'll just send it myself,
And that's
and
fine.
then you'll have it.
That's fine.
So we can either put off till Tuesday, I will do
Well,
my-
We can approve that we've have
Received
received it, not that we're approving it.
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's not complete. I mean,
We're
so,
noting that we.
Well, and the whole thing is we understand that it shouldn't be complete unless, I mean, you've had, 26 days to get it done. Come on, why isn't that, I mean, the city of Pocatello should probably hurry up on their billing, and a bunch of other things. So, yeah. Mr. Chairman, I move that we receive, I don't want to say that, because typically it's a 31-611 is a receive of a report, because you do that every quarter, but it's not a receive of a report, or acknowledge.
Acknowledge the receipt of preliminary report.
Yeah. Mr. Chairman, I move that we acknowledge the preliminary report as presented by the Comptroller's Office and the Auditor under Idaho Code 31-611.
we have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes unanimously. Thank you.
When you get out of your routine of, that 31-611 is usually just, not today.
Okay. Next item?
Okay, next item is the Equitable Sharing Agreement and Certification Report. This is, these are drug seizure monies that are received through a joint effort with multiple law enforcement. We have to do this certification annually of the monies we've received, and if we've paid any monies, even if there is no monies received, we'll do an annual reporting of it, because once we're within this system, we want to keep it active, and if I don't do a report, it doesn't keep active, and to reinstate it is very difficult. This is a online report, but I went in and filled in all the information, printed it out for your review. Tony has reviewed it and signed it, and if you'll sign that document and give me the authority to submit it online, then we'll have met those requirements. It's due on November 1st.
Okay.
And as you can see, we had rollover monies of $1,248. We've not received any money this fiscal year, and I have asked, Andy Iverson's in charge of it. I've asked him to try and find a purpose for this money so that it can get zeroed out, because $1,200 is
A pain.
to track and to continue to roll over. So.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we approve the equitable sharing agreement and certification as presented.
We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
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 You give me permission to submit it?
Let me make the amendment and authorize the comptroller to submit the report.
We amended our motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Forgot
And then can I have that one, and I'll get Christie a copy.
Thank you. Kyle?
Mr. Chairman, one last thing regarding the trespass. As I was reviewing it, I noticed I did not put the reason in for it, but from what I anticipated, it's for being disruptive during public meetings, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
So I'll just update the notice with that and get another signature. Commission is approved.
Yes.
There's the other one that we was originally going to use. All right, thank you.
Morning, Commissioners. Paul Brewster, Bannock County Public Works. I got 3 different items for you today, starting out with seeking approval for landfill engineering support with our SCADA system through Power Engineering. They're the ones that created the system. We just barely got done last year with a full updated system which they created. And so this is for 10,000 in case, but it's just time and materials. So one year they spent a couple $100. Last year they spent 9,000. So that was, a lot of that was for the implementation of some of the things we were doing, but I don't see a lot of expense, but I'd like to get an agreement with them so when something goes down, we have support to get it back up and running.
They're the ones that designed the system? Or are they the ones that just implemented the next phase of the system?
They designed it and then they implemented the next phase of it.
Okay.
So this is just a basic service contract.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot
Should you
of,
need it?
there's a lot of SCADA systems for all different things, but this is kind of their little baby, and looking at their prices.
Something breaks and you're not gonna change it or do it without the engineer's stamp. Otherwise you void all the warranties and all the other stuff, and you gotta have, and if you have them on retainer,
Right.
that's basically, right? That's basically the best way to look at this. is
Yeah.
You can call them and say, hey, I need, with this broke, we need this fixed. We already have the rates and it's there, correct?
Yeah, because normally it'll be in the middle of the night or something like that when it happens.
Cool.
And you don't have any projects planned for this system this year, like any system upgrades or anything? This is
No.
just basic? Okay.
This is just if you break it.
This is just if we break it.
Well, there's only the one thing that I was looking at, and our estimated cost for this project is $10,000. I'd really like to have not to exceed, I mean, it's still open to me, an open,
Well, I think that's what the 10,000 is not to exceed the,
Well, I think
because
that's,
if we don't put money that they can spend in there,
they won't do
then
it.
they don't have the right to be able to spend that. We haven't gave them.
and I understand all that, but it doesn't limit it
No, I would.
per this agreement right here, in my opinion.
I would wonder
Brian?
in the agreement. I would say in the agreement, I would just say our cost estimate for this project is $10,000 based on this, our cost estimate. And I think what should be said is our cost estimate of this project is $10,000 and shall not exceed that without authority of the Public Works Director or the Board of County Commissioners. Do you see what I'm saying? Because they might come in and say, our cost estimate is this, something blows up in the middle of the night, and by the time they've reported back to you, they've spent 50 grand on time, materials, and labor. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because we've said that we have 10 grand, and it could be, but there's not a capping or an authority. You know, if you're going to exceed
Up
10
to
grand, they need to call you first and say, hey, can I spend 10 grand?
Yeah.
And it might
And I
be,
think they are that way, but it'd be better to have it in writing that way.
Just looking at it, that's the only thing that
That's-
I saw on it.
I would just put a cap on it that they have to do something. That, yeah, you have that $10,000 there that if there's an emergency, but if there's something that's major that breaks or something like that, they have to call you first or call, you know, and say, we need to have an additional funds. Because if it's a major catastrophic, you know, more than $10,000 worth of stuff, I'm assuming it will probably be down for longer than that.
So any amount up to $10,000
And
is
once you-
fine, but once you reach that threshold, 10,000, you need permission
Just to-
either from,
Clarify that better,
okay, so you're giving authority to Kyle to.
or that we can relook at it.
Yeah, there would have to be
Well,
A phone call.
something.
yeah.
Like I say, they're really good that way. But it'd be better to have it in the contract.
Well, and I think it's just it's a liability that could be there, because you've basically given somebody spending authority without a cap.
Can we just redline that and initial it? That's the change we want to make?
That's good, you can do that through the now whether they wanna accept it on the other end would be up to them,
That's
but,
up to them.
yeah, we can put our conditions on.
I would just, if
But
somebody,
if you want, we could just
here, who's
redraft it.
got, here, look, nice handwriting.
Sarah.
Sarah. You're gonna be the one that's gonna fix this anyway, probably. So, I would have said Brian, but let's be honest, Brian's just gonna go, hey, Sarah, can you fix this for me?
Yeah, probably just right there at the cost estimate.
I would say our estimate cost for this project is $10,000, and based on the last several years of support, I would say our cost estimate for this project is $10,000, and will not exceed this without permission of the Public Works Director, and based on our, you know, just,
Will be approved.
just approve or put,
Without approval of Bannock County.
yeah.
Yeah.
You can get rid of that, it's based on the last several years of support.
Yeah, I can just go away.
It's garbage.
But that just makes it to where you get notified
Sounds
before they
good.
spend any money. Yeah, Sarah's writing much nicer now. It would have been a scribbly line across it.
I'm
She's
looking
gonna
at it
go
right
re-
now.
Public Works Director or the commission?
Or just Bannock County.
Just Bannock
Okay.
County.
Bannock County.
Yeah.
And what I'd say is let her, we'll just authorize this, my motion will be just to authorize this and then let them go prepare and type it in and make it pretty, so you don't have to write that pretty, just. Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve, the, contract with Power Engineers has been amended, with changes by the board.
Have a motion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes unanimously.
Next, I have two separate purchases for 160M road graders. These are, we have one leased grader that we're gonna have a balloon or a guaranteed buyback this year. We wanted to just get a new piece of equipment and keep leasing. We didn't budget for a buyback either. So we're looking at, that's gonna be traded in and we'll just start up a new lease on that piece. And then we have one that's older that we own, that we were gonna start leasing.
So we're gonna get two graders.
Two graders.
We're gonna lease both of them.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna turn back a leased grader and an older grader than we own.
Yes. So
For-
we'll have, we didn't, on this, I don't have the trade-in values because we didn't know when we could get this equipment. And last second, they found us a couple and he said if we didn't jump on it this week, they'd be gone. And anything past this month's gonna go up 5%. Any yellow met iron, if you can get it.
But we are budgeted for the lease payments
Yes.
for the
And
next.
so you'll get that
105
part
years.
with the leasing company. What,
He said 105 years.
105 years?
Our lease
Oh.
to pay for a grader, two graders.
We like to get the most out of our equipment.
You laugh about that, but the first grader we had to deal with was from 1984 when I came in.
Yeah,
I said that tongue in cheek.
don't give them any ideas here. We've finally gotten them broken to let's not try and resurrect the dead here. We got
No,
rid of the
I-
coal-fired
With
one
the
last
lease,
year.
we're also doing the warranties.
yes. So on these, it has page 1, 5, and then 12, which isn't numbered, but it's the last page because these have guaranteed buybacks. So there's 3 spots to sign on each one of these. This is just locking us into them, and then when we get the trade-in values, then we'll have that for you for the lease, to purchase it through lease.
And then once the lease documents come through, those are the ones that you guys have to do through e-docs.
What's our net change for payments on our policies, do you know?
I don't know.
These
Because I
ones,
don't know what the new lease agreements will be on the new documents. I haven't seen
they'll
those.
actually,
Have you?
with the money, I haven't, just kind of averages, with the money we get for trade-in, since we're not trading in the 86 grader, we have a better trade-in value, and we can put that on both of these leases, one of these leases, whatever we want to,
One of these leases would be ideal so that when I have to do a disposal,
yeah.
it's not a nightmare.
So that's where I was looking at it, is we put that full trade-in on one, and then the leased one that we're turning back in, it'll have a little bit of equity in it, so we'll put it on the other. So that'll be like 10,000 on one, but like 180 on the other, or 280.
The lease amount will be like 280?
No, that'll be
That's your-
that's our trade-in values.
Okay, all right.
So it'll drop from where we were before. We used to trade in junk, and now we're kind of trading in things that are worth something, so.
And quick clarification, I don't know that this is gonna help me with all the lease accounting, but the intent with the landfill equipment is to continue to lease and flip, correct?
Mhm.
Okay. Hopefully that helps with my reporting, but I don't think it will.
Yeah, especially landfill, because that's ready to go back to them. We would like to look at, off subject, but still looking into that leasing one compactor instead of two. And I've been visiting with them about that.
Cool.
Okay.
So you have one, and page 5, and the last page. There's one in the center that Christie had marked for signature, but that's when we get them for warranty. So that we don't use up our warranty before we get them. It's all, once we receive them, I'll sign that one.
Did I miss the length of the lease on these, Kyle?
They're 5 years.
Okay.
With the guaranteed buyback.
Okay.
So that makes it nice for budgeting when you know what they're gonna be worth.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we approve the lease request and purchase of the 2 pieces of equipment as presented.
We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes unanimously. So warranty document received. That needs initialed. You've received that warranty document, but we're not signing the warranty document.
We're not doing anything with that page until.
Well, that's
we-
on the first page again. So it has everything else, and then at the bottom, it has a spot for initials, warranty document received.
Yes,
Just initial that, because we have received that document.
yes, we have received that document, sorry.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wes?
Morning, everyone.
Hello. You're up.
Okay, what you see before you is the sign-off sheet for the State Homeland Security Grant. These are pass-through grants from the Federal Emergency Management Agency that goes down to the state of Idaho. And then it's distributed to the county level. The total amount is determined by population dispersion. We receive these annually. It's what we use to provide support and assistance to all public safety entities within the county in the way of training, equipment needs, anything to build capacity based upon their needs or shortfalls.
Is this what you kind of use to pay for like the training that Ada County's coming down to do next week?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Good with it.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we authorize your signature on the Office of Emergency Management Grant as presented.
We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Passes unanimously.
Sweet.
There it is.
Uh,
And we're on in 20 minutes?
Yes, and they started at Bingham County at 0900. But
Okay.
they're only gonna be at Bingham County for 30 minutes.
Okay, then they'll come down here and then we'll have our update, then we'll go take a tour.
Yes.
And
Disaster
General's
response.
going with us down to the tour?
Absolutely.
Okay. Cool. Alrighty. Well,
Misty isn't here yet, so go ahead and finish out the consent agenda. On the consent agenda,
thank you.
we have alcohol licenses.
Alcohol license. Wes, huh?
Which-
No, you don't get one.
Threw me off because one of them is applied for by the Green Triangle.
Which is no longer.
I still hold the license.
I saw that, and I go, what the heck?
Well, it's now Pizza Hut, Eyeglass Hut.
Oh,
Also, we have salary rate approval forms, minute approval for meeting minutes for October 19th.
when I went to basic training, one of the drill sergeants asked me where I was from, and I said Pocatello, Idaho. And he looked at me, and I was thinking, this guy's funny. He's like, and the first question out of his mouth was, "You ever been to the Green Triangle?"
Cowboy, huh?
I'm like, oh my word, this place is infamous.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Passes unanimously.
That one needs a clerk's signature. Consider recessing that then.
Ta-da!
We're trying to get a break and then walk in.
No, just perfect. Go ahead and come on up. Pull a chair up if you'd like.
We need to get a couple more chairs.
All right, you're up.
Okay, Misty Katzlamidas here for the Treasurer's Office, wanting approval for the 2021 tax roll to add the specials on for the year. They consist of the Forest, the City of Pocatello, and City of Aramo.
What's the City of Pocatello special?
Usually it could be different things they haven't cleaned up, or the flowers, the baskets, someone hasn't paid for it, or a bench outside their business,
Okay.
and then they just haven't paid for it, so they add it onto the bill, tax bill.
So explain to me why they're special.
Because it's a good question. That's just what they're named. I'd like to know why they're called that too.
Special taxing districts, so like your baskets and your benches, from my understanding, is because they're in Old Town, right? And in Old Town, there is a taxing levy that's passed for the Old Town district. And so it's a special taxing district is what falls into it.
So then why is the City of Aramo?
Because they probably have one too. They have something, and I don't know what it is in
Okay.
Aramo.
So yeah, we have a list of different entities that we get a hold of and ask if they have any
And like
specials for the year.
Forest Service one, there's a special taxing for your
Yeah.
fire and
Yeah.
some other stuff that falls in there. So,
So that is what we have this year.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the tax rolls and specials as presented by the Office of the Treasurer.
You have a motion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, passes
Alright.
unanimously. Yeah, I was just interested with the title.
Oh, yeah.
You're
I know.
special.
Well, when we call or get a hold of these people, they're like, some of them don't even know. They're like, specials? What are you talking about? So
From a government person,
They don't
they
know.
never use the term special in anything taught in government that way. Whenever you're talking about taxation and policy, the term special never comes up. So the first time I heard it, I had to do a lot of research to try and figure out what we're, because we've kind of made our own terminology here. Because even the
Right.
counties and the state tax commission talk different. And so it's an
well,
interesting.
and we have the landfill that we associate with specials. That's what we call them.
Yeah, but it's not a special,
It's
'cause
not
it's an enterprise
special,
fund.
yeah,
It's
so-
not a taxing.
They're
It's
another
just- yeah.
sort of special. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. With
Okay.
that being said, we'll be at recess till